What's up everyone, it's the boy NR2003 aka Nathan Stapleton, and welcome everyone to Daytona International Speedway for the Season 4 Powerade Duels. We are here at Daytona, and it's gonna be a wild night. Just one day away from the Daytona 500 tomorrow. We will have the 4th Daytona 500, but unfortunately tonight, 4 people will go home and 4 will make the field. It's gonna be wild, the Powerade Duels here at Daytona, and it's gonna come down to the final lap of who makes it into 500. Of course, the poster Memphis Fisher is on the pole for Duel number 1, and he is guaranteed a starting spot on the front row for the Daytona 500 tomorrow, whether he gets involved in a crash or not. Everyone else, they are not locked into the starting spots. Wherever they finish is where they will start on the inside lane, and then everyone else that I'm pretty sure 4 draws are uncharted. Only the top 2 will make it into the show. So it's gonna be interesting here tonight at Daytona, and let's just go ahead and get straight into it. Not waste any time whatsoever, and let's get rolling here at Daytona for Powerade Duel number 1. Everyone is rolling off, and they are. Here is the Powerade Duel number 1 starting lineup. On the front row, we got Memphis Fisher in the number 77 and Steven Cologne in the number 42. And we got one of the all-star drivers trying to make it, or part-time drivers I should say, trying to make it into the 500. It's BB Ruiz in the number 50, and then alongside him is Ryan Dwyer in the number 41. Roll number 3, we got the number 17 of Logan Williams and the number 43 of John Andrews. Then we got another driver trying to make it into the 500, Darius Ton, and the number 78 of Richard King. And at the top 10, we got Ed Abel and the Season 3 champion Alice Rain. The cars that are trying to make it into the 500 in this duel is the number 33 of Lance Smith Jr., the number 27 of Terrence Green, the number 62 of Daniel Tan, and the number 50 of BB Ruiz. Only 2 of those 4 drivers will make it into the 500 here in Duel number 1. And the past Duel number 1 winners are the number 48 of Nathan Fan in Season 1, the number 48 of Andy Miller in Season 2, and the number 22 of Bradley Ream in Season number 3. None of those are in Duel 2. Both of those cars, however, are in Duel number 2, not Duel number 1 here tonight. So maybe they can win it, get another Duel win, but in Duel number 2. Here we go, 20 laps, Powerade Duel number 1 about to start the duels at Daytona. One night before the Daytona 500. And it's about to get underway. Pace car is on pit road, Memphis Fisher and Steven Cologne. The Season 4 Powerade Duels, Powerade Duel number 1 is green at Daytona. Lap number 1 is going to be led by the number 17 of Logan Williams, and for most of these guys, some of them they raced in the crash a couple nights ago, but for most of these guys, about half the field, they've not been in a pack like this yet this week. So this is a whole new experience for some of these guys, and here comes one of the 4 drivers trying to make it into the 500. It is BMO Sports and Daniel Tan in the number 62 to inside from Abel beyond him in the number 19. 62 will leave this lap. But here comes Abel in the 19 to the inside. 3 by 3 by 3 already here at Daytona. That did not take long whatsoever. And so far, so good, only 2 laps in of 20. And the big question is, how careful do these guys want to take it with these new next-gen cars? We saw in the Clash, they did not take it easy whatsoever. Torn up a lot of next-gens over there a couple nights ago. So we have to see what they will do here. For, especially with some guys going for some spots into the Daytona 500. Josh Williamson and the number 23 for 2311 Racing, one of the 3 or 4 new teams in the Cup Series this season. He's going to take the race lead away. Here comes Chris Reynolds in the number 15. And he's getting help from the number 33 of Landon Smith Jr. Williamson, trying to block all 3 lanes at Daytona. He's going to block the middle lane, but he's not going to be able to block the bottom. And now Reynolds to the inside into the race lead. Landon Smith Jr. and right now it would be the 27 and the 33 making it into the 500, but only lap 5 of 20. Here comes Travis Crampton in number 16 for Colleague, and he has Benny Watson behind him, William Beal, Joe Witkowski, Owen Miles on this inside lane. The inside lane, I think, is going to be the place to be unless we get someone that has a really fast car up top. Then that could change things, but or if we get a crash. But until that happens, I don't think much would happen. But Crampton, he's going to take the race lead away. Massive side draft between the 23 and the 77 right there. Crampton leads that lap, and here comes the number 9 of Benny Watson. 3 seasons in the Cup Series for him, one of the more experienced drivers in the field, knows what it likes to be in one of these Powerade Duels. Here comes number 4 of Brandon Beal, and he's going to go and get the race lead away, come out from Joe Witkowski right behind him in the number 8. So far, so good. 6 laps in, now starting lap 7. Massive side drafts though in the trial bowl. We saw that not work out well in the clash between Noah Clifton and Trey Smith. And we've seen a lot of side drafts already here in duel number 1. But it is Joe Witkowski out front in number 8 for RCR. And here comes Owen Miles in the number 11 for Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, they have all 4 cars in this duel. So that is not good for the field if JJL can work together at any point in this one. Owen Miles leads that lap. Here comes Richard Kinghart in the number 78 now to the inside. Kinghart trying to block the lanes, but he can't get down to the bottom. And here is the Powerade Clash winner a couple nights ago, Juan Garcia. He already has good momentum for the speed weeks this week. Can he add another one and win this duel? We have to wait and see. Ryan Dwani to the inside. And here comes BP Ruiz in the 50 for the money team, all the way back up front. Same with the 62, the 42, the 17. All of them back on the inside. Ryan Dwani, I thought he was going to try to get down the bottom, but he couldn't get there. And so far, so good. Still 3 by 3 by 3. No one really dominating, but no 4 wide yet. But we are only almost halfway through duel number 1. Stephen Clone now in the number 42, taking the race lead away. And so far, pretty good, but we just have to wait and see. Halfway through duel number 1, is this one gonna be the calm duel, and is duel 2 gonna be the crazy one? We just have to wait and see. But so far, duel number 1, let's be the calm one here at Daytona. And here comes the 62 back on the inside. This team known for being good at super speedways, and they would love to get that team and Daniel Ton into the Daytona 500. And right now, it would be the 62 and the 27 that would race their way into the 500. Here comes Aaron Abel in the number 19 from help from Trevor. No. From help from Torrance Green. And Green to the inside. And he has help from Williamson Walker, who I've not seen always yet, Lance Jr., Brandon Nelson as well. Green going for the race lead, and I think he's gonna clear him. Not quite yet. 62 with a great one up top, and the 19 with a good one to the middle. The 62 of Tom will leave that lap barely. 8 to go in duel number 1 here at Daytona. So far, so good. Oh, Wyatt Walker just made it 4 wide at Daytona. Is he gonna back out of it? No, he's not. Williamson, Cologne, Walker, and Williams 4 wide, and now Wyatt Walker's gonna make it 4 wide for the lead almost. They're gonna be 4 wide and 2 rows deep. They're almost back in the right there between Williamson and Williams. Between the 23 and the 17. And now we have 4 wide, 2 rows deep here at Daytona in duel number 2. Oh my god, they almost crashed again. We are about to have the big one off turn number 4, I feel like I just jinxed it. Because we were nice and calm, but now we are still 4 wide, 2 rows deep. They're gonna get 4 wide, one of them separated. 19 is not gonna quite get cleared. Now he's cleared, but now the 17 and 23 still not cleared. We are still 4 wide at Daytona, barely. And that 17 should not have done that, and there they go! The big one at Daytona. Juan Dwayne, Wyatt Walker, Juan Garcia, it looks like Josh Williamson, Darian Ton in the 62. I saw the 27 spin around. Stephen Cologne as well, and Josh Williamson is absolutely destroyed in that 23 machine. For why was not gonna work, and it eventually didn't. And that might have just ended this race. I don't know if we will go back green or not, because that happened coming to 5 laps to go. So we might get a 1 lap restart, or that might be it. But coming back to the line, it was Stratus Grantham for Colic Racing that won the race back. So if we don't go back green, then Grantham might have just got his first Powerade Duel victory, I think. Potentially. I'm not 100% sure on that, but Grantham, not had a lot of good luck in this series. And he might have gotten some of the best luck possible, and he might start third tomorrow for the Daytona 500. Williamson is going to be done so many colors were involved in this one. Cologne, Walker, Logan Williams, Ryan Dwyer, Ton, Abel, Garcia, maybe this 27 has damage, the 15 has damage. A lot of drivers had damage after that one. A lot of Daytona boys colors in the first clash of the night here at Daytona for the Powerade Duels. Will we go back racing? We just have to wait and see. But first, let's see what happened to bring out the first caution here in Powerade Duel number 1 at Daytona. Here we go, the swap in 4 wide for 2 or 3 laps, I think. And Williams they could have gone out of it, but Williams once again made it 4 wide, and they just went up the track to 23, got into the 17 tournament, up the track they went, hard hits for the 23, 27, and the 20. Then 27 came back down, ended up saving it, and they ended up wrecking behind him with Cologne, King Hart, Owens, and Durrani. And nowhere to go for Wyatt Walker after getting caught up with it earlier. Nowhere to go for Daytona or Juan Garcia as well. Just a ton of smoke off turn number 2. Been a while since we've seen that here at this version, but the turn 2 troubles strike once again. Turn 2, a very iconic spot in the Rebel Cup Series. We've seen 2 terrible flips there in the past in the Daytona 500s. Luckily, no flips, but a lot of 12 race cars here in duel number 1. Here we go, full speed. They could have gone out of it, but the rookie, Logan Williams, he just put his nose where it shouldn't belong, and they went about the back half of the field. Multiple cars involved. Not many too big hits, but I think the biggest hit for anyone was Josh Williams, and then number 23. He's had a rough speed week so far. Got involved in the Powerade crash with one of those crashes with a hood buckle, and now he has a destroyed Daytona 500 car. He's gonna have a backup going into tomorrow for the Daytona 500. Tough break for that 23 team. Following along with the 23 of Josh Williamson. Just massive hit into that outside wall. And unfortunately, that's going to end the night early. Along with Wyatt Walker as well. He's going to be done in that 20 machine. I think everyone else is going to be able to keep on going, but it's unfortunate. And then coming to the line, thanks to Brandon Beal giving a massive push to Crampton. By that much, might have given Crampton the duel victory if we don't go back green. So if Crampton wins, he better be thanking Brandon Beal because he gave him one heck of a push off turn number 4. But is that gonna be it? Is Crampton gonna get the Powerade Duel 1 victory? Is he gonna start on the second roll for the Daytona 500? Let's just find out. Here we go. Let's see what happens next here in Powerade Duel number 1. Oh boy, we are not done yet here at Daytona for Powerade Duel number 1. It will be a 1-lap shootout here at Daytona. Oh boy. 2 cars out are Wyatt Walker and Josh Williamson. We got 20 cars left on track. And we got Travis Crampton out front, Nelson in second, Beal in third, Watson in fourth. The 43 of John Anderson fifth. Currently the highest car that would be in is VP Ruiz in the 50, and Allison Rain and then Lance Smith Jr. is also in as of now. The 8 of Joe Witkowski and the Daytona 500 poster of Memphis Fisher. I think it might be the 33 and the 50 because 27 and 62 have a lot of damage from that crash. Here we go, 1-lap dash here in the Powerade Duel number 1. Is it going to be Crampton, Nelson, or Beal? Or maybe someone else to get the drop down. White flag is out here in Powerade Duel number 1. Beal didn't really get a good enough restart. Nelson did get a good one though. Can he get there? He's gonna make some kind of move. I thought he was gonna make it down the back special, but he's gonna make it in the middle of turns 1 and 2. That's gonna slow both Nelson and Crampton down. And now, what's Beal gonna do? Is Beal gonna try to help Crampton again? And it looks like he is gonna try to help Crampton once again. But Watson's gonna try to help Nelson. But Crampton's gonna a big enough shove for him to fall bring the Beal. They almost crashed with Lance Smith Jr. and John Andrews. Thanks to bringing Beal a second time, Travis Crampton wins Powerade Duel number 1. Wow. It took 2 times for Beal to help Crampton, but it worked out in the end, and Travis Crampton wins Powerade Duel number 1. What a crazy second half of that duel. And Crampton gets the job done. The money team, the number 50, and BP Ruiz will make it into the 500. And then the third RCL car, Leon Smith Jr. in the number 33, he will also make it into the 500. That means, unfortunately, the number 62 of Daytona will not make it. And Team Hesburg and the number 27, Trent Screen, will not make it into the 500. Wow. A crazy duel number 1. They almost crashed coming back to the line. Wow. Wild duel number 1, and that's only the first of 2 duels here tonight. Crampton gets the job done. Nelson in second, Beal in third, Ruiz in fourth, Watson in fifth, John Andrews almost got dumped off turn number 4. He gets 6,000 rate in 7th, Lance Smith Jr. in 8th. The poster, Memphis Fisher, kind of quiet all night long, but he didn't want to up his really fast Daytona 500 car. He finishes 9th, and Joe Wachowski in 10th, Owen Miles in 11th, Richard Kinghart in 12th, Juan Garcia in 13th, Juan Dwyer in 14th, Trevor Lawrence, Trent Screen, I don't know why I'm saying Trevor Lawrence, Trent Screen in 15th, Daniel Ton in 16th, Malcolm Williams in 17th, Stephen Clone in 18th, and Abel in 19th, Chris Reynolds in 20th, and then unfortunately Wyatt Walker and Josh Williamson will have to go to the back of the field with a backup car. So a wild first duel, Crampton gets the job done. We saw the big one took out back half of the field, and then we almost saw them crash right back to the line after a 1-lap dash. And Crampton holds on to it. He will start third for the Daytona 500 tomorrow. And, well, duel number 1 is complete. But we still got a entirely second duel left. 20 more laps here at Daytona here tonight, and that is coming up right here, right now. Let's get down track side for Powerade Duel number 2 here at Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for Powerade Duel number 2 here for Speedweeks, and it is time for the second of 2 duels here tonight. Duel number 1 just wrapped up, and it was a crazy one, and who knows what duel number 2 has in store. So, here we go. Duel number 2. We saw Travis Crampton and Carl Grayson get dropped done in duel number 1. And we saw Lance Smith Jr. and BP Ruiz get the first 2 part-time slots into the Daytona 500. We got 4 more drivers vying for 2 more spots here in duel number 2. And we got 1 more spot up for grabs for starting up front and starting 4th for tomorrow's Daytona 500. Interesting stat. So, Travis Crampton even got his second career Powerade Duel victory. I was wrong. He has 2, not 1. So, he has 2 wins in the duels now. But this is interesting. In the past, the 48 and the 22 has always won duel number 1. But this year, both 48 and 22 are in duel number 2. So, it's gonna be interesting because the 48 has won 2 Powerade Duels, the number 22 has won 2 Powerade Duels, and both of them are in duel number 2. So maybe one of them can get the 3rd Powerade Duel victory. We just have to wait and see. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the cards rolling off. We got the front row starter here for the Daytona 500, I should say. Jordan Edwards is on pole for Powerade Duel number 2. Everyone is rolling off. And alongside him is his teammate Mitchell Collins. And this 22 car has won 2 Powerade Duels. Can it get number 3? Then we got Scott Upton in the number 6 for RFK Racing. A number 55 for NBM. Number 26. The number 55 is Club Bajano the third. Then we got Will Parrish in the number 26 for Team Hesper. He just saw me not make it. Can he make it for Team Hesper? Tyreek Holman in the number 38. Starts in 6th. Roger James saw his teammate win in Duel number 1. He took the collar sweep. He starts 7th in a long time. It's Monaco in the number 3. And right out top 10 is Colin Quapley in the number 10. And Derek Hamill in the number 47. So, 20 laps once again for Duel number 2. We got all 3 Team Penske cars in here. So that could be interesting, just like in Duel number 1 we have where it is all 4 JBL cars. In this one we got all 3 Team Penske cars and both of the front row cars. The past Duel number 2 winners are the number 20 of Veronica Platts in Season 1, the number 22 of Travis Franklin in Season number 2, and last season it was Zach Winkle in the number 4 for SHR. So for Duel number 2 it's been different each season, but the twist is that both the 22 and 48 that both of them have won at least one duel each season. Both of them are here in Duel number 2. Pace car dives down onto pit road and have a lead. The field in the hands of Jordan Edwards and Mitchell Collins. Powerade Duel number 2 at Daytona is green. Jordan Edwards really tried side-drafting his teammate all back stretch long here in Duel number 1, Duel number 2 I should say, but that is going to cost him because now he has Parrish on the inside and the number 26 going for the race lead. And it's going to be I'm interested in what happens here in Duel number 2. And Duel number 1, it was called for the first 10 laps, and then the last 10 laps was wild. I see that same thing happens once again. Roger James trying to have the collar sweep happen here in the duels. But right now it is going to be Will Parrish leading lap number 2. Team Penske, are they going to try to do any strategy? There's a lot of forwards in general here in Duel number 2. We got NBM, RFK, Team Penske, Liquid Racing, Suhas. Lots of forwards here in Duel number 2 that could possibly work together here in this one. And still 3x3x3. Will Parrish has not been able to pull out in front of those Team Penske forwards up top. Of course, up top is a forward and a forward up top, and then in the middle there's 3 forwards. And actually, that's 3 forwards up in the top lane and the middle lane. On the bottom, it's Toyota, Chevy, and Ford, so maybe not as much energy on the bottom as there is up top, and that's allowing the bottom to not quite get clear. But Will Parrish might be able to get himself clear down the back stretch, not quite. Club Bajano, the third, really trying to shove Mitchell Collins past both the 12 and the 26 up on that third lane. Side draft between teammates. Collins and Edwards. That was a massive side draft from him. We saw that a lot in the Clash. We saw that a lot in Duel 1. Side draft city down the front stretch. But because of that slowed the Penske boys down, and now Will Parrish is going to block the Penske bunch, and he is going to take the race lead away. Here comes Roger James from a massive push from Properly in the 10. He's going to take advantage of this. A lot more different feel to this duel. It's not cycle racing. It's more or less just trying to block all of the lanes and just be fast. And this 22 car that knows how to be fast in these duels has won 2 of them and looking pretty strong once again with Mitch Collins behind the wheel. Roger James on the bottom, still trying to make it work. It looks like he will, off turn number 4, take the race lead away from him. But can't quite get clear. More side drafting, that time from the 55 to the 12. And Roger James did lead that lap. No bonus points, of course, for the Clash, but if he does that in the 500, that will be a bonus point towards the championship. And all the way on lap 7 of 20, here in Powerade Duel number 2. So far, so good. Getting close to halfway in Duel number 2. It through in that number 91 for Trackhouse Racing. He's trying to make it into 500. He almost made it for a wide back in the middle of the field. And these guys are still fighting hard for the race lead. Still Collins up top, Parrish in the middle, and James on the bottom. And they just can't get clear. Someone might get impatient sooner rather than later and say screw it and make it 4 wide. And it might be the rookie of Cropley, because he's looked a few times down low in 3 and 4. Well, it might be Trey Smith, that was close. I don't know if the intensity is going to pick up throughout this duel, because if they stay like this, then they know that time's going to eventually run out and they won't be able to make moves. As right now, it is currently Will Parrish and Clark Bajano III that would be into the 500 and through, and Troy Gossett would not make it into the 500. Oh man, that was close. Sway Smith, he peeked down low, thought about making it 4 wide. They ended up rubbing doors. They didn't go 4 wide, but still rubbed some doors. Roger James got clear, and now here comes the 10 of Colin Cropley for the race lead. SHR, they won duel number 2 last year with the number 4 of Zach Winkle. Can they go back-to-back seasons with winning duel number 2? And of course, they really got 3 cars in a row, because Cropley and the number 10 of Suas, and then the 51 of Rick Ware, they got a Suas Alliance this season, and then they got the 14 of Zachary Fitzwater right behind them. So it's quote-unquote 3 Suas cars in a row on the inside lane. And halfway through Powerade Duel number 2, 10 laps down, 10 laps to go. Final 10 laps of the night. Here at Daytona, final 10 laps before the Daytona 500 tomorrow here on NS Racing 97. Properly. Still trying to take the race lead away. Fitzwater starting to get a little bit impatient from the Rick Ware Racing car. Oh boy, that was close once again. More side drafting. Aggressive side drafts. I don't know if that's something to do with the next gen car or what, but we've seen so much aggressive side drafting all series long. Quapley still trying to make this inside lane work out for him here. Definitely more interesting duel, definitely a more calmer duel. Or will it stay like this? I don't know. 8.5 laps to go in duel number 2. And Quapley still trying to make this inside lane work. But our Simile guys on the bottom starting impatient. I think Fitzy might be getting a little bit impatient here. Because he's about making it for a while again. They are getting really impatient. Massive side drive again from Mitchell Collins. They are getting really impatient and eventually it might not work out so well. We saw what happened in the crash and side draft in the 12 went just a little bit too wrong for him. Quapley did get past these guys and now he's going to try to block the bond, but he can't get there in time. And then here comes Trey Smith in the number 51 for the race lead. And I think that top side is really broken up because now the 51 of Trey Smith is going to try breaking up the draft and to block all 3 lanes, but he's not going to be able to. And now here comes Fitzy on the bottom. I think we broke whatever bubble there was, and now these guys are getting aggressive here. Crunch time in duel number 2. Because they know if they crash, 5 was less to go, that's going to do it. They might have got lucky in duel number 1, but they might not get lucky again here in duel number 2. Fitzwater trying to make this inside lane work. And now it do it in that trackhouse car. And the number 91, he is on this inside lane. And right now it would be himself and a battle between Pilish and Bajano III. Who will make it into the Daytona 500. 6 laps to go in duel number 2. Here comes 100 guys of Justin Seidel and Nathan Orman and Eli Bright. But how about Troy Gossett? All 4 cars are now they're 3 wide for the 2nd spot in the 500 with 5 laps to go at the line. Intense stuff here at Daytona. 5 laps to go in duel number 2. And again more side drafting, and Stu Haas is controlling all 3 lanes technically here at Daytona with Fitzy, Trey Smith, and Quapley. 5 laps going duel number 2. It's definitely been the more calmer, but still been very, very good. Here comes the project number 91, the 3rd trackhouse car of Eric Drew. First time on the channel, he's trying to make it into the Daytona 500. From help from fellow Chevy and Justin Seidel, he's gonna get cleared coming up 4 laps to go. Oh man, that was close between Quapley and Trey Smith. Side draft almost went wrong for the 2nd time during speed race, and if the intensity has not picked up now, then I don't know what it will take. 4 laps to go. Now Justin Seidel is out front. I don't think Mitchell Collins in that 22 car is going to get a win here in duel number 2. If this inside lane can cycle out fast enough, Eli Blight in that number 48 might have something to say about that. Well, maybe not, because now Nathan Owen's going to make it 4 wide here at Daytona. Coming to 3 laps to go. They're going to let them back in. More aggressive side drafting in the middle of the pack with the 55 and the 31-3 to go in duel number 2. Fitzy up top, Drew in the middle, and Seidel on the bottom. I think Woman wants to help his teammate make it into the 500. Oh my god, Fitzy went for another side drive and teammates. They almost went 4 wide. Oh no, watch out. Fitzy just like that, and up the front, they put the whole field in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Who's left? No one's. That was the everyone. Oh my god. Noah Clifton's gonna steal it. I don't know how he made it through. Angel Vale's gonna get 2nd. Elijah Gordon's gonna get 3rd. Elijah James is gonna get 4th. And I think all but 2 or 3 cars were involved. Oh my god. We've had some bad crashes here at Daytona. I've never seen that happen before. In turns 3 and 4. Multiple cars in the catch fence. Multiple cars up in the air. Eli Bright's destroyed. Justin Zidell. I don't know what Fitzy and Zidell was thinking. I'm gonna have to take another replay of that because that was. I don't even know. Jesus. I'm speechless. Had some bad crashes here before, but none like that. So many 12 race cars. So many. The good thing for Jordan Edwards is because he started on the front row, no matter what, he is gonna stay on the front row. But good lord. The final lap here in duel number 1, I'm just gonna let this one through. And then look at what happened here. Holy smokes. I don't know if he was gonna make it into 500. I don't see any of the part-time cars left. None of them are left. None of the part-time cars are left. It's not gonna be Will Parrish because he's gonna get credited with 22nd. And it's not gonna be the 55 of Club Pajano the third because he's gonna be credited with 19th. I think it's gonna be Team Trackhouse in the number 91 and the 66 of MBM. All 4 part-time cars with destroyed race cars. I can't believe what I just saw. Only 3 cars have no damage from the looks of it. Noah Clifton, Angel Vera, and Elijah Gordon. We're only gonna have, I think, 9 cars finish this race. 9, maybe 10, maybe 12. Well, 2 new teams to the Cup Series are gonna win duel number 2 and duel number 1. We saw in the clash it was the new team of Team Trackhouse and Juan Garcia getting the job done, and duel number 1 it was the new team of Colleague Racing and Travis Crampton winning it. And then duel number 2, the third new team, 2311 and Noah Clifton, and the number 45 is going to win Powerade Duel number 2. All 3 of the new teams with a victory here at Daytona Speed Weeks. Oh my god. I'm still speechless. Not felt this way since, like, I think this is when Daytona 500 here at Daytona. This place is a beast, and it can turn completely upside down. Well, before we see the finishing results, let's see what the heck happened late here in Powerade Duel number 2. Well, here we go. I think this is all Fitzroy here. They were 3 wide off turn number 4. Fitzy was getting pushed by Quapley, and Fitzy just turned down left until air through, and the number 91 kept on turning. They almost crashed right there with the 14, the 91, and the 66. Fitzy gets clear of the 91, and then he just continues to go left into the side of Justin Zidell, who's already cleared himself from the 66. They were 2 wide, and Fitzy just continued to turn left on Justin Zidell. Zidell was just along for the wide, pretty much. On the apron, I thought they were gonna save it, but Fitzy ended up turning Justin Zidell around, and then Zidell ended up turning Fitzroy around and back up the track. They went and everyone involved pretty much, and then I don't know how this happens, but the 22 and the catch fence The 55 in the catchments, the 3 on its side, the 91 on its side, and the 22 of Mitchell Collins just stops in the catchments. The 3 has a rapid fire launch back into the field pretty much. 3 cars on its side, 2 of them up in the air. And the 22 of Mitchell Collins is absolutely destroyed. I really don't know how Noah Clifton made it through it, and Angel Bear. I don't know how anyone made it through that, because that was the whole field. That was probably the worst crash I've seen at Daytona in the JBL Cup Series, and we've had some bad ones here. Good thing this is just a video game, but oh my god. Following along with the 14 of Zachary Fitzwater, and yeah, I just don't know what he was doing. Just kept on turning left and took out the whole field. Oh my god. Literally 2 cars got in the air, 2 cars in the catchments almost, 3 cars in the getting on the side, and the whole field ended up being involved. Just Jesus. Heading on to the hats, folks. Wide, number 22 of Nathan Collins. And this is how, somehow, someway, Elijah Gordon and the number 2 made it through all of this in 2024. So yeah, that's that. Race ends under caution, and only 11 cars finished. 12 cars finished, but I think only 8 finished the cross line beyond the pace car. Everyone else was either out or decided to go down pit road. Terrible crash. Probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen here on here at Daytona.